Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Mark Outward Show, Adventures of the Cosmic Suit. How are you getting on today? You all right? Hello, Coral, Libra Queen. How are you? Adam Taylor. Hello, Mark. I have cloud capital letter Q showed itself to me after talking about your part 2 Mistophelia. What do you think that means? It means that your mind can control the clouds. Roger White. Hello. How are you? Right, so there's a few things I want to talk about before. I've got a guest today actually here in the house. So I'm going to introduce her in a minute. But in the meantime, I just want to show you something because we have a couple of issues here in the chit chats that I need to address. And this is for my mum and anybody that doesn't know how to use YouTube, which is my mum and a few other people. So what I want to show you is briefly that every video that I do, let's see which, is this sharing the right one? Yeah. So if you come to my channel and you click on a video like this, let's say this one, for example, this is the live video. Look, there's me talking. Now, underneath, they've changed this. YouTube have changed this recently. And you can see down here, it says this little word more. This is the video description. Okay, so I often refer to the video description. This is it. And all these links down here are usually relating to the show or ways that you can support the show. And I'm showing this because I keep seeing comments of people saying, where's the link? Where do I find it? Well, they're all in here. And a lot of people have asked me recently about this course, how to monetize what's already in your head, create a new income stream, and become sovereign quickly. If you click that link, I think I need to reshare it. You will see that there's a free webinar. And that free webinar is extremely interesting if you are interested in such a thing, which shows you how this course works. So feel free to go. There's lots of videos on here that explain it in more details, lots of testimonials. If you're struggling to find your voice or you're looking for a way to understand how to create a new income stream, go and watch the webinar, and that explains exactly what's in that course. And you can join about 600 other people. And don't, if you're completely broke, that's fine. There's a free option. If you can afford it, pay for it. I don't care either way. I don't want anybody to be excluded. But there's 30, 40 hours of video content in that course, and it's really, really amazing. The other amazing course that I'd like to bring to your attention, if you're not aware of it, is, he says, clicking around, also in the description, which you can see here, which is maximize the lights in your cosmic suit in 90 days. Now, I've been doing this since January. Everybody I meet says I look younger, fitter, healthier. I'm wearing, smaller clothes, feeling amazing, tons of energy. By the way, the energy today is off the charts, right? I've been buzzing, or as my nan used to say, I've been buzzing around as a blue ass fly. You're running around like a blue ass fly. That's what she used to say. This Maximize the Light course is there's 1,500 people on this course, and it's changed their. Oh, actually, you can't see it, can you? I'm talking about it, and you can't actually see it. I will get the hang of this. I'm not buying a studio. I'm building a studio. By the way, I have decided that this show has taken over my house. And the kids need more space to play and stuff like that. So I've found the premises, and I'm starting to put a studio together because, this show's taken, as you can see, 2 videos a day is taking over my life, and I need to have more space at home. So I'm going to be doing that. Anyway, that's the wrong one. Need to do this one. Won't be a sec. Yeah, the Maximize the Light course is brilliant. Jeremy Ayres has provided an incredible protocol in here, and the course itself was what we filmed over the first 90 days from January through to April, and it's got about 20 hours of live Q&As. There's a whole protocol document that take a few hours to go through, which explains how Jeremy has taken people back from the brink of death doing this course. He's developed this protocol over 20 years, and the reason I decided to do it is because I've met people that he's brought back from terminal cancer diagnoses multiple times. I mean, it's quite extraordinary. And I was also talking to the founder of the People's Health Alliance this morning. I'm going to be getting her on next week. They are doing amazing things, real action being taken, like an alternative to the NHS. And she told me this morning, there's 15 countries, I think it was 15, might be more, countries that have signed up as well. And there are regional representatives all over the UK, and 25% of them have already secured properties. This is how we do it, right? We take action and we bond together with no ego. And, it's just amazing to see. What I'm seeing is amazing. Outward Studios, says Aegis I Am. Hell yeah! I'm not going to call it Outward Studios. That would be really fucking egotistical, wouldn't it? I was thinking of calling it Freedom Studios, actually. Yeah. Good day, Patriots. Kirsten Modax, how are you? Tanya, what did you say? Tanya Chambers says, oh my God, I'm signed up for 90 days and guys, get on it. Wow. It is a good course, isn't it, Tanya? Just the people got to get over the whole meat thing, right? Meat's not perfect, but believe me, what's in the vegetables and the fruits and the bread is killing you. Mika Riggs, morning from Las Vegas, Nevada, 4:20 a.m. here. Oh, thanks for joining me so early. Just want to say thank you for helping me understand I'm not alone in all that I have been going through. So much to learn and understand. It's my pleasure. That's what people like me are here for. We now, I understand that now, and it's a real privilege. It's friggin' amazing. Tanya says yes. Friggin' in the rigging. Friggin' in the rigging. That was a Sex Pistols song on the great rock and roll swindle. I was thinking about that the other day because I've just bought a new Sex Pistols t-shirt. Badger Brock. Hi, Badger Brock. UK here. That's great. Sovereign Studios, Roscoe B. Do I have to pay your commission if I use that? I like that. Sovereign Studios. I mean, that word sovereign, I think there are people that I spoke to someone a few weeks ago, so maybe that's not the best word, but I think it's a good word to get out there. I mean, I did spend quite a bit of money about 7 years ago with a wonderful woman called Katie, who I need to get on the show actually, launching myself as the sovereign entrepreneur, but nobody, because I teach internet marketing, or have done over the years, and but nobody understood the word sovereign. I still think they don't. Maybe I will use that. Hi, Micheline McKay. Hello from Canada. How are you? I hope you've been enjoying the shows recently. If you've missed it, there was Michael Feely yesterday, part 4. I do love, some people criticize the shows in the comments, but you need to understand this is called Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. It's not called Answers in a Cosmic Suit. It's not called Guru in a Cosmic Suit. It's Adventures. So my philosophy is that I get people on with all this different information because I think between all the people that I've interviewed, I think everybody's got a piece of the puzzle. And, it's down to discernment whether what we get from these chats. And I do like to interview people without arguing with them. If anybody says something I disagree with, I just let it go because, I want them to speak their piece so that you can get everything they're saying. Because, I'm not married to any idea at all. The only thing that you should be paying, the only guru you should have in your life is you and your connection to God. I'm not going to say source. I don't like source. Always makes me think of Heinz and HP. God is your connection. Your connection to God is your guru. Okay, that's all you should be listening to. I'm not a guru. No truther is a guru. None of them. Did you like my Telegram post this morning? Instant guru's gonna get you. The Telegram link is in the description. Go and join it. Angela, I know, I understand. I get it. I was vegan a year ago, but I'm telling you, I feel amazing now. Early morning from Mountain Home, Idaho. Hello, Deborah Smith. How are you? Mika Riggs. Yeah, you have helped me wake up some of my family. It's been hard with all the name calling, but now they're seeing things with the light shining in a different way, and they're also talking different too. That's really encouraging. I think we've entered a new phase. There's a shift, definite shift, especially since Mercury in retrograde ended. And, I'm hanging out with people who've had this, whereas a year ago, I was quite aggressive towards people who'd had this. And I think it's time for forgiveness for everybody. And those people were duped, right? We know that. Some of us didn't fall for it, but some people did. And I don't think it's their fault. Hello, Grace L. I was born in Northampton and my mother was Irish. Doing great on Maximize the Light and love Michael F. Thanks, Grace. Yeah, I was born in Northampton and my grandmother was Irish. So we have something in common. Where were you born? Did you grow up in a village or was it in town? Excuse me. And you look like a new pup, Mark, Tanya Chambers. Yes. The only thing bad about losing weight is the bags on your eyes get bigger. So I probably look more tired. Sheila Young, hello from Glasgow. Love your shows. I love Glasgow. A funny story with Glasgow. I was managing a band, and we drove up in this big Mercedes van. There was about 20 of us in this van with all the kit, and I remember the lead singer rolled a spliff that was about this long. It was literally this long, and he was smoking it. And then I decided to take the wheel after having some of that spliff, and I went over a curb and burst a tire, and then we were trapped in Glasgow. So we had to go in this pub, and I walked into this pub, and there were these pictures of boxers from the 1930s and 40s, all like this. It was hard. Glasgow's hard, right? And then I sat down next to this old man, and they had a picture of a boxer behind him, and I started talking to him. And I couldn't understand a fucking word he was saying, but it was great fun. And behind him was this picture of this boxer from the 30s, and I looked at the old man, and I was like, and it dawned on me that was him. And I said, is that you? He said, aye, laddie. I was like, fuck, brilliant. Great. The people, brilliant. Wonderful place. I love Scotland. Scotland. When I first went to Scotland, I was in a train, and I remember, because I was on a survival course in the RAF, and I just remember the landscape changing. And it went from sort of Lake District pretty grass to like thistles. And it was like, oh, this place is harsh. But it is stunning, apart from the midges. Don't like the midges. Curious looking inside. I know very few people who didn't have that product in their arm. I wouldn't be able to see anyone if I held it against them. Yes, they were all fooled. Hello from Canada. The open air prison, Canada. How's it going with Justin Dictator Castro Trudeau? How is that? Badgerbrock. I was born in Cabra, West Dublin, Ireland. Great. You're going to like my friend. Were you from there? Yeah, she's from there. How's that? Synchronicity. Been loads of synchronicities today for me. Well, every day. Every day. Wish geoengineering would do one, says Dotty G. Never see blue skies these days. Well, I'm seeing some blue skies here. Don't worry about it. That's my view. There's a lot of people panicking and worrying and being in fear. We have to create this new earth, and we do it by meditating, going within, and envisaging this future that we want. I know it sounds dippy whippy and woo woo, but actually that's the way this world works. Leanne, hello Leanne. Hello from the west of Dingle. Hang on, Leanne. I've got your thieves here. I'm going to rub some on. If this bottle works. Oh, it does. This is good stuff. So this is Thieves Blend, is a legendary potent blend of purifying essential oils. Leanne, put your website link in the chat. Good stuff. Mika Riggs, Mark, my mum has been having visions and sometimes she tells me what she's seeing. Is this part of her Irish gift she tells me about? She can see things before they happen. I don't know if it's an Irish gift, but it's certainly a gift that a lot of people have. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I first realized I'd got that, it was quite horrible actually, because I was thinking about a girlfriend and I thought, oh my God, she's dead. And then the phone rang and it was a mum saying she's dead. And I was like, how did I know that? Very strange. Lisa Garrett, hello, Mark from Texas. Woke up to the sound of thunder and you were on. Was it me or the thunder? Thank you for astounding interviews. How much is that vegan course? It's not a vegan course. It's the opposite. But it's, I I can't remember how much it is. I think it's cheap. It's very cheap for what you get. You can pay what you want above a certain price, but I can't remember what the... Go to the link and have a look at the webinar, then you'll know everything about it. Excuse me. Janet Gilbert, woke up this morning, they sent me a song, Zippity Doo Dah Day. My kids hate it when I sing that because I always break into it when I'm driving the car. Zippity Doo Dah, Zippity Day. If you want to get ahead, get a hat. Look, I'm only wearing the hat because I'm losing my hair and I get bed hair and so I think I'll put the hat on. Fuck it. I hope the med beds bring your hair back. I hope med beds are real and I hope they bring hair back. That'd be cool because I used to have big curly hair. Now it's all going. Sorry if I've missed some chats here. I wanted to go through that. There's another thing I wanted to talk about, which is there's a guy in Ireland called Jerry O'Neill, who's a fantastic writer and a very humble man and a very lovely man. And he set up a Facebook page when they were mandating these on the little kids called A Mandate-Free Ireland. And I've talked about it before, but it just grew massively overnight because it was a big wake-up call, that particular mandate. And so Jerry set up a thing called Saoirse Creatives. Saoirse means freedom in Irish, although I know that I'm terrible at pronouncing Irish things, as you're about to find out when I introduce my guest. But we did an event in Doolin in February, which was a weekend. I did a talk there. It was amazing. And Jerry just set up an event here for the 20th of August and picked a venue. And then the venue got a couple of calls from ANITFA, or people purporting to be from that organization. The venue had 4 phone calls and they immediately closed down the event. And the event was simply a bunch of people, including me, doing a panel chat about the state of Ireland and all that kind of stuff. So he's learned the hard way that you have to keep venues secret until the event that I was supposed to do in London in September got cancelled as well for exactly the same reason. I flew over to London, went and had a look at this venue. Everything was cool. The manager of the venue actually tweets awake stuff. She was awake. So we were thinking, this is all good. And then it came down from on top. No, we're not allowing that. No, can't have that here. No, none of that. And the funny thing is, if you the Great Awakening tour video, I just received it this morning. It's about 6 hours long. We've edited out some of the stuff, and that's going to be available online soon somewhere. I'll put the link up. I'll email. If you're on my email list, I'll definitely send it to you. So you can watch it. And it's all about, everybody was up there talking about peace and love and God and spirituality, and they banned it. Well, they did it in Birmingham, but they did in London. It's amazing. Solutions, right? We're all trying to talk about solutions. So they don't want solutions. They don't want, it's all resistance though, that's all it is. It's just resistance. And we're all being moved around exactly as we're meant to be moving. And it's okay. It's all part of God's plan. I know that. So I'm just looking down the comments here. I have a question at the start of the chat. Adam Taylor. Right. I've got to go all the way back up. Adam Taylor. Hello, Mark. Yes. Yeah. I read that out, didn't I? What do I think it means? Okay. So cloud, capital letter Q. And yeah, I said you're creating, I first realized we could control the clouds with our minds after a peyote ceremony with a Mexican chief on a ley line in Glastonbury near the Tor. And I got up in the morning and I was literally moving the clouds around into different shapes and faces and everything. And the clouds have messages for us. I just found an amazing channel this morning called FPV Angel. Go and look that up. I'll share the screen with you if I can. This has, I've emailed these guys and asked them to come on the show. Yeah, here it is. Because this stuff that they're doing, FPV Angel, the stuff that they're doing on the true nature of Earth is fascinating. And I think look, I can't remember who recommended this channel to me. It was in Telegram this morning. Whoever it is, thank you very much. I've I've had a quick look at this, and I'm like, this is great stuff. So I'm hoping to get them on the show soon because he's talking my language. I mean, this part that you're seeing here is in Peru, around the Nazca lines, and these blue lines have been drawn on by him, and he's basically just showing that the creator is real. This place was created, and the technology behind it is extraordinary. And he refers to the rainbows as angels, and I can't wait to get stuck into that because we're just piecing it all together, aren't we? All of us are doing it as a group, and it's too interesting not to do more shows. You know, I can't stop doing these shows, and I've got to go where my intuition takes me and where you guys take me as well. I mean, I love it when you email me or leave things in Telegram and point things out because, you know, we're collaborating, which is brilliant, which is what the PHA was saying to me this morning. I've temporarily forgotten her name. I hope she forgives me, but I do that. I'm forgetting words a lot at the moment, which is not too good when you're presenting a podcast. Hang on. Where is she? Catherine McBean. Yes. I had a good chat with Catherine this morning. If you've not heard of the PHA, let's go and have a look. See if I can find it. I don't know the website. the-pha.org. Everybody go and have a look at this after the video. Let me just show you it because people-powered solutions. This is where we're headed. There you go. For the people, by the people. Organic, people-led grassroots organization creating an integrative healthcare model to heal, support, and empower the people of the UK. But it's gone past the UK now already. And I think, take responsibility for your own health. That is critical, you know. I mean, I had a bit of a scare last night because I've got a hernia and I've avoided going to the doctors because I don't want to have somebody sneak one of those into me. So, but I found one yesterday, and I may be getting that done because I went kickboxing and I got in there and all these kettlebells there, and I went, I can't do this because the reason I got the hernia is because of kettlebells in the first place because I used to love doing the kettlebells. So anyway, yeah, you've got to take responsibility for your own health, and there's always a way. Is the other thing. I saw somebody you might have seen on Telegram yesterday, Shakti from Rise Up Erin, who I interviewed last week in Dingle. She put up a video saying that her doctor of 40 years refused to treat her because she wouldn't wear a mask. There's no requirement to wear a mask, yet she still got turned away by her doctor, family doctor, 40 years. Paul Davis. Hello, Paul. I used to know a drummer called Paul Davis. It's not you, is it, Paul? I used to manage a band with a drummer called Paul. Bless you for what you do. Big things on the way. Trip to see Madness in a few weeks. So the 70s, 80s, a bit of memory road. I'm going to see Madness. Buster, he sold the heat. I got it wrong. With a rock steady beat. First band I ever saw 42 years ago, Birmingham, Bingley Hall, Madness. And they're still going. I know, don't put in the chat, Sogs is sold out and taking a knighthood or whatever. I know they did the Jubilee thing on the roof of Buckingham Palace. So I don't, you know, but they're still a great band. And I've taken my kids. I can't believe my kids are going to go and see, because they grew up on Madness and good music. Somebody probably told me it's Tavistock Institute. I know. I still like listening to the Beatles, even though I know it's MK Ultra. Some things you can't let go of, right? Heal thyself. Yes, recovering from injury. What an appropriate YouTube name you have for that comment. Yvonne Preston, on holidays in Loch Derg. Loving, oh, are you? I don't know where that is. It's in Ireland, obviously, because you put a shamrock. Loving all the Michael interviews. Me too. Oh, yeah. So I've got a meeting with Michael tonight because a lovely woman called Jackie wants to put us on live in the UK. I don't know when, but I'm up for that. You guys up for that? Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. You got to also understand, you know, when people say things to me, like even with past life regressions or messages from the stars, and they say things to me, I take it all with a pinch of salt. All right. I'm taking everything with a pinch of salt. Don't take anything too seriously, and don't let anything go to your head. Just be and keep trying to center yourself. It is fun. It's interesting. If it's true, amazing. If it's not, don't worry about it. The same with the gurus. You know, there's a lot of people popping up all over the place. Just use your own discernment. That's all I can say. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go down a bit further. That's right, because I went up to the top. Those players are usually broken wing gurus recovering from injury. Yes, agreed. Who cares as long as we keep the vibe high? Yeah, we've got to keep the vibes high. Talking of which, what's the name of that song you wanted from ABBA?
I Believe in Angels.
Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of this. And this is a request. I'm turning into a DJ. Coming in at number 4, it's ABBA with I Believe in Angels. Let's just... I bet it's got adverts on this, so I'm going to have to get rid of the ads. Oh, no, it's good. Okay. So, you know, this episode is called... What's it called? A Message for Humanity, the Call of God's Angels at a Time of Global Crisis. Now, there's a good reason why it's called that, which I'm going to explain in a minute. But firstly, let's have a little bit of abs, shall we? A little bit of... I used to fancy the blonde one. And the one with the beard. I didn't like him so much. Ho, ho! Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Right. Here we go. Bit of ABBA. Bit of ABBA to smooth you into the morning.
Dream, a song to sing, to help me cope with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future even if you fail. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, when I know the time is right for me, I'll cross the stream. I have a dream.
Gonna have to end it there because I don't know what YouTube's going to do for copyright reasons, but go and play that afterwards. Very interesting. The one I picked, I don't know if you can see it. It's exactly 4 minutes and 44 seconds long. Can you believe this shit? It's a bit like, you know, my poem, I See You? Total accident. 4 minutes, 44. It's everywhere. I keep seeing it everywhere. I saw it this morning. It's beautiful. And that's the angels confirming you're on the right path. And, you know, I don't know if you guys have had this, but I was saying this morning, I keep getting moved to do certain things or go certain places. And I'm like, well, why am I doing this? Why am I saying this? What? And it's all part of God's plan. That's my opinion. You can take it or leave it. Stevie Nicks, we just say Martin S. What do you think of Stevie Nicks? Show Them the Way. I don't know that song. I'm going to have to look that up. Very funny, Tone Deaf. What's Tone Deaf saying? Angel number 4. Yeah. Hi, Mark Reagan News. Joe Biden had a meeting with the cabinet today. He also spoke to the bookcase and argued with the desk. Ho, ho! Tone Deaf is in all week. Right, I've got a guest. Are you ready? Come over here. Come. Oh, I'm in the right. How does this work? Oh, yeah, you go there. You have to put your head in the way of that door because my kids have come home early, so we don't want them showing. Can you move over a little bit? That's it. God, are you short or am I just really big?
I'm quite short.
Okay, so
chairs.
So this amazing lady from Dublin. Whereabouts in Dublin?
Hello, Phibsborough, but I raised my family in Cabra West, like that guy I was talking about.
Cabra West.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, I've never been able to pronounce your name properly, so
Okay.
you've got to tell them.
Soraha.
Soraha. That's it.
Soraha. It's
I mean-
a tricky one. It's a tricky one for Irish people, even.
Soraha.
Yep.
I've got it now.
Yeah, you have it now.
Well, I met you 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
And
No, you were able to pronounce it before.
yeah, but it's just you know,
It-
you have to
it
say it a lot of
goes.
you have to say it
Yeah.
a lot of times for it to
It
stick.
goes. Yeah, that's the trouble with it.
Well, I'm the idiot who called the Tour de Danann the Twaffer de Danann in a poem about Dublin.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, Irish
There you
people. No, the Irish were
There you
really that poem was really funny because it got shared on a Facebook group and it had like 20,000 views in a day. And I was like, somebody said, "You don't pronounce it like that," and I was like, "Oh fuck," because I'd never heard anybody say it
Too
out
late.
loud. And then loads of people said, you're okay. We know what you meant," which is lovely. Yes, a guest. I've never had a guest here, and it was all by accident because I'm sure I said we're going to do it on Zoom. But then the doorbell rang, so I was like, okay, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Okay, well, I'm a bit of a techno. What would you got? Luddite. A techno Luddite. So I do know what Zoom is, but I've never used it. So he may have said it, but it just went straight over my head.
Badger Brock says, "Has your guest heard of the surname Callanan?" Callanan.
Callanan, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So what have we got here? We've got we have a little candle here. Isn't that nice? And I've not shown you this before, but this is a piece of artwork here. Can you see it? Let's put it the right way up. There you go. Isn't it cool? I love this because it reminded me of kind of like Sex Pistols. It's a bit punky and it's a bit... Anyway, she made this because you're an artist, aren't you?
Yep, that's right.
She's a very good artist, and we met in the lockdown. And where did we meet?
Um,
Can't remember.
was it at my exhibition then? No, it was at a gathering where you were doing your poetry.
Oh yeah, that's right. In
Yeah,
that house.
so it was right in the middle of lockdown.
was
so
right
it
in the
had
middle.
That kind of feel of, oh, we're doing something real exciting, getting together.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
It was amazing.
That was. And you, in at least one of your poems, you used the word God.
Yeah.
And that really, that's when I kind of start to really pay attention, because it's actually goes back to something that you said in your introduction there about using the word God.
Yeah.
That you like using the word
Yeah,
God.
I do.
And I think it's very, very important. To me, it's very, very important. And it leads into what I'll be talking about later. But not using the word source, universal power, energy, things like that. I think it's so, so important to use the word God. And it doesn't mean that I know what God is or I'm claiming to know anything. Just I started to get this feeling a few years ago. Anytime I'd be reading a spiritual book or that, and they'd be using the word power or source, I just got such an uncomfortable feeling, and I didn't understand it at all because I wasn't in any way religious, but I started to not trust any book unless they use the word God. So it's very interesting to hear you say that there this morning. I think it's a safeguard somehow.
Yeah, I do too, and I think the New Age movement has deliberately been directed away from that word.
Yes,
and there's a reason for it.
Yep.
Because words are spells, and I know that the argument is, oh, it's got all these religious connotations, blah blah blah. But it's what I feel when I talk about God. That's the word that fits.
Yeah, I'm getting shivers
So am I.
all down my spine. Now, this what started happening to me years ago before I even thought I believed in God. I didn't believe in anything really. And that same experience just in the New Age, unfortunately, a lot of people there have been tricked, and it's not their fault. They don't know what they're doing. They are doing the best they can. But I think, again, the reason they'll stay is, they don't want to put people off. They don't want to be judgmental. They don't want to associate with churches or organized religion, this kind of thing. So they prefer to use the word source or universal energy. But I just think it's a big mistake. And as you said, words are spells. It's the word.
Yeah, I think maybe I should do a whole show on this. God versus source.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
It's
definitely.
Just, I'm just running with I've got this energy running through me, and I'm just following it, and that includes what I'm saying. and channeling, you know, and so many people that I've met over the last couple of years are channeling. I mean, you're an
Yes.
artist, you channel.
Yeah.
And let's talk a bit more about, so the other thing about Sahara.
It's gone already.
Sahara. The other thing about
Saraha.
is that yeah, there was a live video I did about a year ago from a market down in town, and some friends of mine, including Soraha, were coming through that market singing. Do you remember?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when I got called a right-wing anon nutter by this satanic, horrible woman who does. She just, do you remember that? She sort of spies on people around here and
yes.
takes pictures of them and then tries to discredit
Yes.
you online. And it's like, no, not going to work.
Yeah. God love her. Yeah, we were called violent as well.
Violent? You were dancing.
Yeah, dancing and singing about love and yeah, basically, let's dance once more. That was it.
That's what we're gonna do.
That was it. Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
What was the song? It was a French.
It was called Dance Once More.
Oh, but in
yes,
French,
it was a song. It was a song I think originated in France. And then different countries took it up, translated it, and basically it was groups of people all over the place with instruments, singing and dancing in public, basically about how we all have to stand together, love each other, and all we want to do is dance.
I was dancing last night. It's amazing. If you've forgotten how to dance, get up.
Get on it.
Somebody here said, can you put on CC for the hard of hearing? Linda and Charles went, I'm really sorry. I just don't know how to do it. But this is one of the reasons why I'm getting a studio, because I'm bringing in my sound guy and my camera guy in there so that all these technical bits and bobs can get really fixed. So I do apologize to the hard of hearing, but it goes. That's my idea of a joke. I once did a TV show when I did a hard of hearing gag in it. I'm going to pull that up actually, because I think this gag's hilarious. We got this TV sign writer to. I'm just going to pull this up. Hang on, nearly there. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, there she is. It's worth the wait. Okay. I can't believe I'm going to show you this. So this was a comedy I did about 20 years ago. I can't remember when exactly. And that's my dear departed mate Stan Vernon. And that's me in a gas mask. We've just walked into this public toilet. I've got to show you this fart death actually. This fart death's brilliant. This is my mate. What's this? So we're two road sweepers. Oh, there he is. So we're two road sweepers, and we're on. It's like a silent comedy with loads of grunting. And there's my mate Toby. Watch this fart death. I love that. So there's the gas mask, and then they run into this public toilet. That's me with the gas mask on. Very low quality. It was before the internet. And that's really kind of a TARDIS. And that's Blackpool Opera House. It's bigger on the inside. And that's me playing the banjo there with the blonde hair. Oh, Jesus. Stan. He was funny. I'm trying to find the deaf. Where's the deaf bit? So they come in. If you ever watch the film Deliverance, this is kind of a homage to Deliverance. I can't find the deaf bit. I'm sure it pops up in a minute. There she is. You see, proof that I'm consistent in my comedy. She was doing the deaf signing, right? And what she's actually saying is, if you think the jokes are shit in this, I'm not even getting paid. That was the joke, only for deaf people. I thought that was funny. That's the kind of thing that used to make me laugh. You need to address your pelvis. Drop me a message, Mark, and I can sort your hernia out without surgery. Really? Cool. Right. Right. how do I see? I can't give my normal email. If you email me, mark@themarkatwoodshow.com, I have a really good guy, Mike, who forwards. Let's just say it's important. I spoke to Mark, and then we can communicate like that. That'd be good. Unless you're on Telegram, you can PM me. The problem is with Telegram is that I don't often check my messages because there's just so much going on there. S Nerd says I found timeline shifts in the last few days that have not felt in months. At 6:50 hours, awakened at 2:30 with a very heavy timeline shift. And time is changing. That everything's changing. We're moving to a place of no time. That's my view. Badger Brock, you're so bad, Mark. Lol. Me and my twin boys come up with these lol things, and we do naughty versions of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that in the car. It's hilarious. Right. Now, Soraha, let's talk a little bit. Can we talk a bit more about your art? Have you got any more art with you? Because
I have.
She's an amazing artist. Look at that. I like that. Is this I call this the concealed blowjob?
Dude. So
Come on, talk us through
it. Yeah, I made this. I don't know, a long.
333 people watching. Look at that.
Wow.
333.
So yeah, made this a long time ago. At a time when I would have said I didn't believe in God, so I found it quite odd that I made a sculpture of somebody. Actually, now it all makes total sense. I'm hiding inside there.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, praying.
You're reaching for God, but you don't want anyone to see you.
Yeah. praying in secret. Yeah. So that's that one. And then I have this other piece which is not mine, but have to show it because it's absolutely beautiful. This is it's like a tapestry of the Archangel Michael, which was made by a lady I know in Romania. It took her about 4 months to make it.
They can't hear you when you're talking behind that.
Oh, sorry. This is made by, it's a picture of the Archangel Michael, and it's made by a woman in Romania. So I like to keep that on my wall because Michael is the Archangel that is apparently more or less he is the most important angel of this era that we're in, and anytime that Michael is around, it has to do with the battle between good and evil. So he's a very important spiritual being. So I like to keep his picture around me at all times.
I can feel him now. Yeah.
And there's a little prayer. He's got there's a prayer as well you can say to him in times of need.
Go on, let's say it.
Yeah. Okay. Archangel Michael, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who wander the world for the ruination of man. Amen. Yes.
That's good.
Good. Yes, that's a very, very important prayer. And you can actually get little prayer cards with it, just small, like a business card. I carry one with me all the time. And when I'm feeling any doubt or fear creeping up on me, I'll whip that out and just say it if I need to, or just look at the picture as well, So it's just a little aid. And that's like, again, Mark, something you were saying earlier about pieces of the jigsaw. That's it. It's something that I use, a little piece of a jigsaw. Actually, back there in, I think it was about 2012, a lot of strange things started happening to me. I definitely started to properly wake up then. And one day I was walking along the road and I literally found a piece of a jigsaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the middle of the street, just a piece of a jigsaw.
Yep.
So I picked it up because I'm a bit of a magpie in that way. I just pick up things and they always seem to find a use later. So I picked it up, put it in my pocket, started thinking about it, and that was the idea I came with, or that came to me, that I'm going around collecting these little pieces of jigsaw and putting them together. So I made a little poem about that, which I don't remember now, but it was literally to do with that, finding little pieces of the truth. As far as I'm concerned, the things I'm finding are little pieces of the truth, and putting them together with other people's little pieces of the truth, and not getting into arguments or discussions about who's right or what's wrong. just putting them together and trying to make more of the bigger picture, which I think is what most people on your show are probably trying to do, right?
Yep.
Figure out. Another word you used, I'm so glad I took notes because your introduction was very interesting. It's
Was
given me lots of little things of how to what to talk about. Discernment.
Yeah.
Discernment, so important, because we, like never before, I think, I could be wrong with that, but like never before, we're being bombarded with massive amounts of confusion, deliberate confusion, meant to bring people away from God, meant to confuse people, meant to terrify people, meant to push people so far that they will take their own lives and do terrible things. Discernment is the most important thing. Yeah, like you said, be open to whatever information comes your way. But if it doesn't sit right with you, leave it aside. Maybe it will sit right with you another time. Maybe it's not quite the direction, the information you need on your particular path. But always just have it in mind, have a question mark over everything. And I think over time, then you literally it's a skill that you can develop, to recognize the truth. I've been developing it unconsciously. It wasn't my decision. I never sat down, decided to do that, but it seems to have been happening to the point where mostly I seem to be able to listen to information and know whether it's true or false. And I don't know, it's especially easy, I find, if you look at the news, which I really do. But there's something wrong feeling and sounding, and I suppose you would call it the resonance, no? The truth has one kind of resonance, a lie has another kind of resonance. And I think that if you just start to develop this feeling of there being a question mark and literally asking yourself, so whether that's you want to say that's your higher self or your guardian angel or God, you just basically ask, is that true? And then wait and see what it feels like, For
That's
me,
right.
it always feels like I get shivers. I'm getting it now.
I got chills, they're multiplying.
All down my body. And sometimes somebody might be telling me something that might be quite, unusual or unlikely or whatever. I get that feeling and it's like, okay.
Remember, David Icke wrote a book in '98 called Truth Vibrations, Foretelling This Time. Everybody should go and read that, because it is all about recognizing the vibration of truth.
Yeah.
All of it.
And it's a skill, and there's a lot of, there is a lot of confusion out there, but I think it's entirely possible to develop that as a skill, and you just get to recognize. You just get to recognize the feeling, and for each person it'll be a different feeling, I imagine. Oh wow!
Everybody should get these, and the truth shall set you free.
Hey, amazing.
The Answer, David Icke. The Trigger.
Great.
Excellent book. Although I find that hard to look at because that's my mate dying.
Oh.
Renegade, the movie. Children of the Matrix. Love this cover. Look at that. Phantom Self. This is brilliant.
David Icke. Fair play to him.
God
bless
books.
David Icke.
Tales from the Time Loop.
Keep on going and keep on going.
Right? Seriously, get David Icke's books if you've not read them. Perceptions of a Renegade Mind. Ugh. If you come around my house, I'll lend them to you. Because I can't read them all at once.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to read. Gloria, if you're watching, I'm on page 25. Oh, I love the books.
Yeah.
Inviting ET. This is a good one.
God bless you, Gloria.
I'm reading this one as well.
You're like me. 3 or 5 or 10 books.
I've got 10 books on the go at the same time.
Yeah.
I was just looking. We've been attacked by AI while you were talking.
Okay.
There was some horrible sex comments coming in, so I was desperately trying to block them. I wasn't ignoring you.
Yeah.
What time is it in Ireland? It is 13:04, which is commonly known as 4 minutes past 1 p.m. Yeah. Are you into astrology? Says Brunish Sanoon. Yes. I mean, I'd like to go deeper into astrology, and I'd love to do a show on astrology. So if any of you are astrology experts, come on the show. Let's have an astrology roundtable, because it's so many different aspects of astrology that I've had my chart done quite a few times, and it's all good, apparently. Sorry, where were we now?
Books.
This one.
Books. We were talking about books.
Well,
Yes.
let's talk about this one, because
I unfortunately don't have a copy of the book because it went missing. So this is the thing that happens with these books.
Have you told a story?
No, I haven't told a story about the book
Okay,
yet,
so I'm just going to explain. You told me about a year ago about a book that you'd found, and you knew the author, right?
I didn't meet her in real life.
You didn't meet her, but you had a conversation with her at some point.
In a kind of dream conversation. But
right. Okay. And what was her name?
Her name was Karen Martin Corey.
Karen Martin
Corey. Yeah, Kuri.
And what was the book? The
book was called Message for Humanity. The God's Angels Are Calling in a Time of Global Crisis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you first come across this book?
I came across this book in 2012. The book came to me. I was living and volunteering in a Buddhist hostel, and I had for a number of years been interested in New Age spirituality. I trained as a masseuse, so from there kind of got into different things to do with energy healing and that. Read a lot of books, but had started along the way to get a bad feeling about New Age and New Age practitioners. And I did not know what to make of that at all, because I started out thinking, this is my world, these are my people, and then I started to get a bad feeling when I would be around these people, and I felt initially very guilty, because I thought I was judging them, or like being bitchy or something towards them. I just got a feeling of like, get away from me. And so yes, among the books I read would have been books of Doreen Virtue. That's a very interesting story she has as well.
Angel cards.
Yes, angel cards. She would have been the queen of angels.
Yes.
She would have been considered the queen.
Did she turn her back on that?
No, she had a conversion.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
So that's a very, very interesting story. I don't have the full details, but that's something maybe to mention another time. But anyway, yes. So I'd read books about angels and developed an interest in angels. But again, still getting this bad feeling to do with, I don't know, just a bad feeling with the books and the cards. Somebody had given me a book of angel cards, which is supposed to help you make decisions and things like this. And I got a very, very bad feeling I could never work with them. So then 2012, I'm living down in a hostel, and a guest there gave me this book called A Message for Humanity, and I saw it was a book entirely about angels, and I just put it aside because I thought, oh my God, it's another book about angels, But eventually, due to not having anything else to read down there, I'd read their entire bookshelf. I picked it up one night and started reading, and I just started crying. I just like, oh my God, I'm getting shivers again now. I realized that this was not a New Age book, and I realized it was not just any book about angels. What that book did for me was it explained to me what the feelings and the doubts I was having about the New Age. And she explained it in a way that was completely non-judgmental. What she explained was that, briefly, I can only explain it briefly, but she explained that basically what we're dealing with, especially now it's visible in these times, but obviously since the beginning of time, is basically a battle between good and evil, and that the evil will use all kinds of people, good people. So that's what it was such a relief to understand that the majority of people in New Age and, working with energy healing and angel cards and things like this, they're good people. They want to help people, but they've been pulled actually away from God in a sense, because look, the spiritual world is massive. Who knows how big it is? And there's a lot of influences there. There's a lot of energies there. Not all of them are good. And again, through the book, I started to understand that we've been lied to so much. I mean, not say anything new, but
Mm.
you know, we've been lied to. People have been manipulated so much. Psychologists have been manipulated into teaching that there's no such thing as evil. No?
Mm-hmm.
That, and if you start talking about evil or things like good and evil, you're actually being judgmental, you're condemning people, and it's not that at all. It's just, again, it's a fact, it's a truth that there's something called good and there's something called evil. And I am just obviously an ordinary human being. These are massive subjects. Of course, it's way bigger than good, evil. Of course, you know, the theme is massive. I can only have a small little jigsaw sized piece of the understanding, but to me, how I understand it is there is something called good and there is something called evil. And New Age people have been led in a certain way
Mm-hmm.
that's doing more harm than good. So
Mhm.
this book answered so many questions for me, because it was really true interest in New Age things that I started to question, well, you know, maybe God does exist. I wasn't brought up a religious person. My family wasn't religious. So to me, I always looked at religious people as being weak
Mm.
kind of people who didn't want to accept life, and they're always looking for support. And yeah, basically I believed every wrong thing that was ever said about any religion, against God, against angels. I believed all that. So this book was incredibly influential in my life. And I just, as I said, the feelings that we were talking about, you know, getting the shivers and that all started for me when I was reading the book, and I was just in a constant state of that as I read the book, and it was a hugely emotional experience. I was crying, I was having moments of ecstasy, and again, I was reading stuff that my brain didn't want to accept as true, because it was what you'd call uncomfortable truths. It's like, basically, you're not actually that good a person and you've done lots of wrong things in your life.
Yep.
So there was so many things that I wanted to not believe,
Yeah.
you know, but I was getting this feeling all the time of this is true. So it was a massively emotional experience coming across that book. So what happened next was that there was a passage in the book that I wanted to translate into Spanish for a friend of mine. She spoke no English, and it was a discussion we'd been having. I can't remember now exactly what the discussion was about, but I wanted to translate this one paragraph for her. And at the time, I just had like kind of tourist level Spanish, but I thought, well, look, I'll have a go anyway, because it was a very important point that I wanted to explain to her. So I sat down and I started to translate that piece. Now, with the level of Spanish I had, I shouldn't have been able to translate it, but I was able to translate it, and I realized I was using words and verbs in a way that I was like, oh, I didn't know that's how you said that, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I translated that little piece, sent it over to her. She was able to understand it perfectly, and it made sense. It fit into our conversation. She found it very helpful. So then, because I'd had that experience of having that help with the translation, I decided to keep going. So initially what I did was I translated the whole book into Spanish. And I have to tell you, it was the most enjoyable work I've ever done in my life. It's the first time going to work, I would actually go, oh, can't wait to do this. I'd sit down at the computer, start doing it. And again, firstly, I worked without a dictionary. Then I had a dictionary, but things would happen. Like I'd go to look up a word. I mean, my dictionary was like massive, like that size dictionary. I'd open and I would find my thumb would be pointing at the exact, it just practically, let's say 9 out of 10 times when I looked up a word, that's what would happen. I'd open on exactly the page and my thumb would be there pointing at the word.
Sounds like you were divinely guided.
I would say it was angelic help. And again, the author explained how she had a lot of help writing the book, but she also had a lot of hindrances when it came to writing the book as well.
Well, that's like you know, they've just done it with me. They're trying to put this
they're trying
porn
to
in the chat.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
AI,
I do not consent.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, they'll say that's bots or whatever. To me, that's all part of the spiritual warfare that's going on. So there's been massive opposition to this book coming out. The author originally worked with an editor, and he removed the word God from the whole of her original manuscript, destroyed her original manuscript. changed so many parts of it to make it in line with New Age thought, and then explained to her that the book would never sell the way she had written it initially because the word God was so off-putting to so many people.
Interesting.
So
interesting. I brought that up this morning.
Yeah,
we didn't talk about.
Yeah, we didn't
this.
do any preparation. So that's what I was saying. Like your introduction was so
Oh,
helpful.
somebody wants to say hello.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, it's my cat.
So yeah, so she explained how she had so much interference from the rebellious angels. So basically, what this book talks about, I should say that instead of waffling, is it explains the spiritual worlds, and again in a kind, in a simplified way, but it explains the spiritual worlds and how they work. It talks about the different ranks of angels, the different responsibilities that angels have, and it also explains that not all angels work for God, and this is so important. Not all angels work for God. We have rebellious angels. They're called either the rebellious angels, delinquent angels, and going back to the Bible, they would have been the angels that rebelled against God, and then the archangel Michael was the one responsible. Actually, he was not an archangel at the time. He was only a normal angel, but he stood up to defend God at that time, and because it was such an act of bravery on his part, he was then elevated up to the rank of archangel. That's why he has that role now. But those angels rebelled against God, and they were cast down onto the earth.
There we go.
Yeah. Archangel.
There he is. There's an angel on your shoulder.
Yeah. Amazing. So the book explains how all about angels, their roles, and then importantly, how they influence humanity. And basically everything we do, all through our lives, every day, we are being influenced either by one set of angels or another set of angels.
Yeah.
So the author explains, for example, how angels, rebellious angels, affect our thinking, how they affect our feeling, our emotions, and how they affect our actions. And in very, very subtle ways. And again, this is so important because we're being affected all the time. I was being affected all the way. I walked in here this morning, and my intention was to pray, because I started praying the rosary, something I've actually never admitted publicly before, because I still have a weird thing of, stupidly people are going to laugh at me. I think I'm a religious fanatic or something. Which shouldn't be important, but that just shows, those influences are still there. But anyway, it was my plan to pray the rosary on the way in, and I normally would say prayers when I'm walking. And my idea was, because the book, my last copy of the book went missing, I was not able to do what I felt I should do, which was preparation. I thought, look, I'm just going to put it in God's hands. I'm going to pray on the way in and just leave it up to God, to help me remember to say the right things. And do you think I could pray on the way in? No, I couldn't. I was being attacked all the time by negative thoughts. First of all, about how stupid I was to have lost the book. Then who did I think I was, coming on a show like this to talk about something I'm not
all those those sabotage thoughts.
Sabotage thoughts. But again, for me, what I've come to understand is that is the work of the rebellious angels, because the next thing would be, then I would start to beat myself up for, who are you to come and talk about a book so important when you can't even keep your mind clear?
They don't want us to put this out.
They don't want it. So this is the work. So again, the author explained this. She said, as soon as you start to do good, as soon as you try to do good, you become a person of interest in the spiritual war.
Yes.
If you're just there watching whatever, if you're just there not even thinking about these, not trying or not believing in anything, you're not really a person of interest in the battle. That's not to say, I'm not trying to say anybody's a bad person or anything like that, but you're not a person of interest because you're not consciously trying. As soon as you make a conscious decision to try and do good, that's when you become a person of interest. So here I am on my way in, trying to, to bring this project forward. And that's what happened. So
the book is out of print.
So yes, the book is out of print. I tried to convince the original publisher to republish it, but he said it didn't make him enough money, so he wasn't particularly interested in doing that. So yeah, so after finishing the Spanish translation, I tried to persuade him to republish it, and that was he wasn't interested in doing that. So I decided to type up the book again. A friend of mine helped. I was not very good with computers, even worse than now. So she started.
That's why she's here instead of on Zoom.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to use it.
So yeah, she started off and she typed up a few chapters, and then I took over and I started typing up the rest of it. So I typed up the whole book and then tried to think about how to get it published. This has taken me years and years and years to do it, because at every step of the way I've been blocked. Obviously I'm not great with computers, but I'm not that bad, you know what I mean? I know how to print, I know how to type, I know how to save a document, all this kind of thing. Every step of the way something went wrong.
Yeah.
Every step of the way something went wrong.
No, I remember you telling me about it a year ago. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Block.
Blocked all the time. And then I kept trying to talk to people about it. I bought up the remaining copies. I gave them to everybody I could think of, or anybody I met who expressed any interest. I gave the book to them, hoping that, okay, these people are maybe going to help the project along, you know. But what happened without fail every single time was that, so I would give the book to people only when they expressed an interest, like, and I thought, okay, this is a serious person, you know what I mean? So I gave them the book, and there initially I would usually get a text or a call from them basically saying, oh my God, this book is amazing.
Yeah.
This book is amazing. Yes, I am going to help you with this project. So, and then something like, look, you know, I have a busy week ahead. I'm going to get back to it. So it was always something like that. So then I'd leave them, you know, wait a few weeks, few months, whatever, get back to them. And I'd say, so how are you getting on with that book?
Yeah.
And the most common answer to that question was, what book?
Really?
What book? I even gave this book to an exorcist because I wanted his approval. In the beginning, I was again kind of a little bit uncertain. Should I go with this or not? You know what I mean? So I gave it to him and we had a whole conversation about it, because I explained to him why I wanted to do it. Explained to him why I was giving him the book. I wanted his approval for that.
Yeah.
He didn't remember a thing. I didn't remember. So everybody had this initial, and I'm convinced it's 100% genuine interest in the book, a genuine, again, this thing of discernment, a genuine feeling that, this is an important book, and a genuine wanting to help me with the project, and then boom, forgot. So books were lost, books went missing in the post, people forgot. And so here I am. This is the first concrete step I've had in actually getting this message out. So this, this is what I feel is the most important thing. I have somehow a responsibility that I'm probably not handling very well, but I'm doing my best.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Best.
You're doing great.
So that's kind of my responsibility, is to help get this message out.
Right. So let's land the plane. Right. So so I said, well, look, let's just publish it. Right.
Yes.
And you wanted to do a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to get the print version of the book.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's a great idea. But I said, because any of you that have done my course will know what I said. I said, fuck that. Let's just get it out now.
Yeah.
Right. So you sent me the PDF, and I've set up a page, and it's on that that address that you can see there, TMAS, the Mark Attwood Show.tv/message for humanity. And I'm just going to show you that page itself. I set this up this morning and yesterday with a bit of help with Monique. Thank you, Monique. And so this is the ebook version for those of you that want to read it. Now, this is what it's called, Message for Humanity, the Call of God's Angel at the Time of Global Crisis. There's a message there from you, and then you can check out the bottom. And I said this morning, let's make it cheap enough that everybody can get it. But if you can afford more, pay more. That's basically what we decided to do, because I think that's can they all see that? Yeah. So that's it. Just go to that website if you want to get this and you want to help. So what we're trying to do is raise enough money to actually get the print version out again. So that's why this ebook's here. And then if we raise enough money, then maybe we can get an audio version and stuff.
Yeah.
But you guys that are interested in this, it's $5. Just go and get it. Help out this project, because I think looking at your comments, you can tell how authentic she is. Yeah. And you know, you can feel it. And I haven't read it all yet. I've read some of it, and it is certainly some. It's on my list now.
Yeah, it's on your list.
All right, Gloria. I'm not going to. I'm going to read your book first. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So
let's look. What I want to do is, as you said, raise money. This is not. I'm not trying to make any profit or anything like that from this. It's not my work. So while I was translating the book into Spanish, I was trying. So it took me several years to do the Spanish translation. I was trying on and off to contact the author, because I realized that American English is not the same as English. So there were some passages that I just wasn't quite sure about. And I wanted to check some things with her. And also my initial idea was to offer her the translation, let her, give it to her publisher or whatever. And I couldn't. Again, emails kept bouncing back, just couldn't find the woman. So this was also what delayed the whole thing, because I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? You know what I mean? It's not my work. So I don't know what I can do with it. But then one night what happened was, well, it wasn't a dream, but it was I don't know what else to call it. It was an experience, in the night, the nighttime. So I basically, what I saw was clouds, and then the clouds opened, and the author, I knew her face because it was on the book. So the author came through the clouds, and she waved at me and smiled. And in the dream, I had said, so two things. I realized two things. Oh, she's given me this is her endorsement. And then straight away it's like, oh no, she's dead.
Yeah. Well.
So then I woke up, I went to check straight away, and I found her obituary. So I knew she was dead. So then again, I started the process of trying to find, was there a next of kin? I found a daughter.
Here they come again. Look, we're getting spammed by all this. Yeah, they really don't like this.
It's not working.
Not working, AI. We do not consent.
Love is more powerful always.
God,
so yes, I eventually came across a daughter of the author who had actually been adopted at birth. So
there's a question there for you, by the way.
Okay, I'll read that in a second.
Yeah, read it in a bit.
We had a couple of questions. We had a couple of we exchanged emails several times, and she did not actually have the copyright, but she was able to kind of say, look, I think it's a good idea and whatever. So in the end, what I decided to do was just go ahead, publish it myself, do self-publishing, get the message out in any way. As I said, it's not something that I'm trying to make a profit. At the end of the day, if somebody wants to complain about it, they can complain. I'm unemployed, I'm broke. What are you going to do?
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
You're doing God's work.
So yeah, that's how I see it. So I'm trying to raise money to make a print version, because I still would rather it was in a book format, but also if people, so in any way people can help. Another way that people might like to help, if they read it, if they find that it has an effect on them, if they think it's important, they might like to offer to translate it into another language. And again, further down the line, if there is a book, a physical copy of the book, they might like to organize a book launch. I think would be amazing to have a book launch. You know what I mean? So again, whatever help people think.
Well, with that link launch, there is where you can get the ebook from. If you guys early adopters to this and want to come on and discuss this book in a couple of weeks, we'll have raised some money and we can have a round table and talk about it.
Yeah, lovely,
because then we're just getting, this is a message for humanity.
Yes.
And I think humanity needs as many of these positive messages.
And as many people helping as well to get that message out, because I think it's just so, it's unlike any other book I've read. So important. Let me see the question.
It was a personal question about an artist, Joy Dugan. My brother-in-law lives in Cabra. He's an artist too. Wonder if you know him. He's not awake. Steve Dugan.
No.
Personal questions.
Don't know his name.
Thanks for that, Catherine, mate. I will. Well, I'm getting a studio. I don't need to buy stick film. The only reason they're here today is because it's the end of school, and they've all got. I've got to take them into the forest in a bit, so I will be wrapping up soon. Is there anything else you want to say about the book before we go?
Let me see.
Notes.
Yeah, notes.
Yes, professional.
Yeah, just well, I think we can see, you know, she's explaining something about the influence of the rebellious angels in areas of life. There was just two that I mentioned. So number one would be what's been going on in the last couple of years. So all of these lies, obviously, this genocide, as I call it.
Oh, what was that song? Hang on. You wrote a song.
You wrote a song. Yeah, I wrote a
Go
song.
on, how's it go?
Come
on, let's sing it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She wrote this song. It's brilliant.
Sing it without music or anything. I woke this morning and put my socks on.
That's it.
I got the feeling there was something wrong. Made me want to write this song to call it out for what it is. Don't get taken for a ride. It's a bloody genocide, a genocide. They lie, they lie, they lie, 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 lie.
I remember
That's
this.
You can put that on your show.
Yeah, let's
get
let's put it out as an MP3.
Yes. Yeah, I'll pass it to you.
It's obviously I didn't sing on it. Don't worry.
So that's obvious. That's the most obvious effect of the spiritual warfare that we're going through. But another one, look, you only have to put on Netflix or any TV show. I'm not against Netflix. I was actually watching something there last night. But if you watch Netflix, I mean, the amount of
unsubscribe from Netflix immediately. Stop giving them your money. Disney Plus, unsubscribe, all of them.
It's the amount of satanic stuff that's coming through those shows.
Oh no, it's shocking. There's also good stuff coming through as well.
Kid stuff to do with sexuality with kids, and it's absolutely disgusting. And again, so much of these things is explained in the book, and it's an incredible book. She's actually sharing so much esoteric information. I'm getting shivers again.
Yeah.
But in a way that's totally readable. This is not a heavy book. It's extremely
it's an ebook, so it's actually got no weight whatsoever. Unless you print it off.
It's not a hard book to read. It's not one that you will slog through, you know. It's written in a very simple, very accessible way, but the truths in it are
the link is on the screen.
So yes,
tmas.tv/message for humanity. It's also in the description. If you don't know how to find the description, go back to the beginning of the video and I explain where the links are in descriptions in videos, especially you mum, if you're watching. She always blames the technology. It's not me, it's the computer.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah, well look, I'll tell you, technology is one area where the rebellious angels love.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can be very well doing some tricky stuff there.
They're always at it.
Your mum to access the information.
Yeah. Well, I think it's actually just because my mum's.
Which is also one last thing I would say, which is that
technology.
You know, you had suggested before making it as an ebook, and I've always been
you didn't want to do it.
No, because again, I'm aware that of the influence. But then it was only just the other day. It was after chatting to you the last time, and I was going, this is it's a major battlefield.
Yeah.
It's a major battlefield. There's so much illusion and so many half truths, which are far more powerful than any lie, because you think it's true and then it's a trick. But it's a platform, you know, where the spiritual battle is taking place. And I thought, well, look my preference is for it to be in a book, and I think there is a definitely. I think information read from a book. I could be wrong now, but I think information read from a book is more likely to have a lasting impact on you than information that you read from a screen. But
also,
said that,
when it's printed, it exists in the world.
It exists in the world, exactly.
So if you do buy the ebook, print it out.
Yes,
print it out.
Exactly, it exists.
And look, all the money that you give for this book, it's 100% going over here. Nothing to me. I don't want anything for this. I put it through my company because it's just easy to set it up.
Yeah.
But I agree.
So that's it. I mean, I thought, look, just get the message out there in as many different ways, as many formats as possible. And in the meantime, like you said, maybe you can generate enough money to get a physical book as well.
That would be good.
So look, hopefully people will read it, because I don't feel I've done a great job to explain it. But you know,
I think you've done a fantastic job.
And hopefully it'll just interest people enough that they'll want to take a look at it, you know.
And then we'll maybe run a round table in a few weeks with any of you that have read it, so we can actually discuss it in more depth, because I would like the time to read it as well. I've not had the time to read it because I'm just extremely busy at the moment, but that's the honest truth. And I trust this woman with my soul, so that's why we're doing it. But I've run out of time because I've got to go and do dad stuff. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for your help.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Very important. Thank you so much.
This is an amazing audience.
Yeah, thank you.
They're beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. There's a pre-recorded premiere tonight with Sol Luckman, who is an utter genius. Please, you'll enjoy that. And there's a link in the live to part 1 of that, which was over a year ago. So new subscribers won't have seen that. Go and watch the first part before you watch part 2 tonight, because Sol has done he's amazing. So he's an author, he's a healer, and he's wonderful. So do check that show out. Please like and subscribe this video, all the videos on the channel. You may have noticed that I'm shadow banned beyond belief. My subscriber count inches up, and I know it's not true. So, but if you can help me with the algorithm, that's great, because a lot of this, especially share my poems. There's a playlist, most of my poems, and the markatwoodshow.com. All the videos are there and other information. And thanks a lot for joining in today. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Remember, we create the universe. We're creating the new earth. Go and meditate, start picturing it, focus on it. The more of us do it, the quicker it's going to come. All right?
Spread the love.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
And keep dancing. Let's go and play ABBA after this.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on loud after this. All right?
Gladly.
See you later.
Bye-bye.